I'm not ready for what we're going to read today. It's going to be an adventure. I hope you guys are having a good day today and I hope you're ready for this. I've had like no sleep, so I feel a little bit wild. So yeah, going to be an interesting episode. Am I overreacting after seeing a picture of my partner and work spouse from when they probably booked a secret weekend trip? My partner 30 and I 28 have been together for 3 years. 6 months ago, they befriended a co-worker Jay. At first it was harmless. Jay's helping me with the project. Late into midnight. Then came the inside jokes, late night Slack pings in our bed, and Jay's emergency calls even during our dates. I voiced discomfort, but my partner insisted that I'm just being paranoid and that they're just work spouses. I always hated that term, or is it just a cultural difference? I'm from South Asia and my partner is from Western Europe. 2 weeks ago, I noticed a picture in my partner's trash folder. My partner with Jay in a selfie half naked in a sauna during a work retreat. Metadata showed the location to be a secluded cabin for rent, 2 hours away from where the work retreat was held. When confronted, my partner claimed the place where the work retreat was scheduled was overbooked and it was the venue that booked the cabin for them. My partner again reiterated that I'm being paranoid, that this is common, and it all comes down to cultural differences. What, half naked in a sauna with your work spouse? Oh, you're just being paranoid. I'm freaking the f*** out. I have no real way to verify my partner's claims, and am I overreacting? Edit number 1, thank you for all the sympathetic comments. I feel like I'm at the wake for my relationship. My English might not be good, thank you for understanding. Sorry if I haven't responded to your comments yet. I'm reading them and freaking out so bad and hyperventilating. For some context, my partner has been truthful and kind all the years I've known him right until now. I moved to my partner's country 2 years ago after a year of dating in my country. There's a lot of cultural differences like night and day, and my partner has been my guide through all of it. So when I confronted them about the picture and they said it's cultural, I had to believe it. But tonight it's 3 a.m. here. I couldn't sleep and I kept on having this nagging feeling of what if. I'm going to call the venue as some of you suggested, although the region that we're in and where the retreat happened is remote enough that the nearest possible accommodation could be really 2 hours away. Edit number 2, just woke up after a bit of sleep, still in panic mode. My partner's gone to the office. I took the day off. To those calling this BS, I hope you never have to face this kind of situation ever. To those sending me chat requests, please don't. Even if you are doing this out of sympathy, I'll probably end up deleting this account as this blew up. I'll post an update before deletion. I will be snooping around before I confront my partner again, but thank you again for the well wishes and advice and everything. You've made this experience a bit less insufferable. Half naked in the sauna with their work spouse and they're calling their partner paranoid. I'm so sorry, OP. The top comment says your partner's cheating. I'm sorry. The second top comment says not overreacting, maybe it's just my marriage, but if his work retreat was overbooked and he had to stay in a private unit with a co-worker, the first thing that he'd do is call me. Your gut is screaming at you for a reason. A lot of suspicious activity going on there. The comment below that one says, no, you're not overreacting. He's definitely cheating on you and gaslighting you. It's time to leave. Okay, there is an update. It's definitely not looking good. I feel so sad for OP. A big thank you to all of you who answered the question if I were overreacting, even though 99% of those that responded thought that I'm not overreacting. 1% of you and my partner thinks that I am overreacting. Nonetheless, thank you to everybody for taking the time to respond. Short update, I'm pretty sure my partner was cheating and I've decided to leave him. I left the house and I'm staying overnight elsewhere. I'd like to respond to a few comments in the original post. I'm not married to my partner, thankfully. I'm not going to take his money and run. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to live with myself if I did that. I'm still not confident about my English. When you learn the language as a second language, you translate from your mother tongue and you always wonder if you could have phrased something better. As per my edit on the original post, I woke up somewhere around 10 a.m. this morning. I was panicking, but I called in sick to my work. My partner's already left for work by that time. I rang the original venue and I explained myself, and the person on the other end was sympathetic. They informed me that they were never overbooked in recent history and that it would be quite surprising if it happened at all in this season. They checked their list and informed me that no one by the name of my partner or Jay claimed a key card along with the work retreat folks. Everybody had their own rooms allocated during the retreat. I was pretty sure by now of what happened. My only regret was that I didn't make a copy of the picture when I had the chance. I decided to pretend like nothing happened because I needed more solid evidence before any confrontation. I was waiting to hear back from someone else. Towards the evening, my partner comes home all angry. The reason was that I asked for advice on Reddit in public. I would have usually justified my action, but I decided to ask my partner's opinion of the responses. My partner said that Reddit is a cesspool and no one should be seeking advice on there. I told my partner that I'm a free-thinking individual, and even if Reddit gave me bad advice, I can decide to take it or leave it. My partner was furious for some reason. I was furious because there was no way that my partner would have looked at Reddit by himself. I suspected that Jay showed it to him. We then said some things that we shouldn't have said. Finally, in a moment of frustration, I blurted out that I knew all about their vacation and how I knew about about it. My partner told me that they were appalled that I would contact the venue myself instead of trusting my partner, and that there's no point in continuing like this. I said it's true, there's no point continuing if we don't trust each other or tell each other the full truth, and then some more things were said. After we both calmed down a bit, I gave my partner a choice. I will believe my partner if my partner never interacted with Jay ever again, and according to my partner, it's impossible when they're working together on some of most of the important projects in the company. It would be better if my partner resigned. I said I'm fine with that, but that's not going to happen. I left the house later in the evening and a friend from work offered to take me in for the night. I said that I'd rather stay at a hotel and he took me to one. My partner has already rang me a dozen times and sent me some messages and I haven't responded to any of them. Yeah, like the top comment says, classic. How dare you find out that I lied? You should have trusted me. The comment below that says, tell him that you know that he cheated and he knows that he cheated. There's nothing to discuss anymore and to stop contacting you. It pisses me off how stupid cheaters actually think people are. Good luck, OP. You deserve better. The next one says, am I overreacting? My husband changed the pin on his phone before a hospital procedure. Oh, okay. My husband was admitted to the hospital for health issues. He is young but was diagnosed with heart failure. A few days ago, he had some chest pains and low blood pressure. I told him that he needed to go in and at 4 a.m. got admitted. The doctor decided a procedure that would put him under was needed for answers. He had to leave his phone and belongings. His phone rang while he was out and I missed it, so I went to check to see who called. And when trying to put in the pin, I got the error that the pin was incorrect. I didn't expect that because the pin's been the same for 2 years. Am I overreacting and overthinking this pin change? It was the same pin 2 nights ago and now I'm worried that something is happening behind my back. Sure, I know I need to talk to him, but due to the circumstances, I'm gonna need to wait a while until he's stable again. It's weird, you know? We've had issues with his infidelity in the past prior to marriage. I did forgive him. Please be kind. Maybe I'm just a mixture of nerves and lack of sleep and stress. I love him and I'm truly worried about his health. We do have kids, so there's a lot going on in our life. Thank you in advance. Yeah, like this comment says, not overreacting. The fact that he was going under anesthesia and could potentially die or stroke and felt the need to lock you out of a device that you might need to access to use or close accounts is pretty sketchy. The top comment says, before a major surgery, I'd be making sure that my spouse had my password in case anything went wrong and they needed access to my stuff. Yeah, that's not good, and especially where OP said that they've had issues with his infidelity in the past. What did it say? We've had issues with his infidelity in the past prior to marriage, and I did forgive him. And there's no update because this one was only 9 hours ago, so there might be an update in the future that we can read, but as of now, there's not. But yeah, OP, if you were on his phone 2 days ago, and 2 days ago it was the same password that he's always had, but now right before he goes into surgery, where he knows that you'd be able to go onto his phone, he suddenly changes it. Yeah, that's definitely sketchy. The comment below that one says, a lot of y'all are nicer than me, because in this situation, as soon as he was stable, I'd ask him to unlock his phone and come clean, or he can call somebody else to sit with him at the hospital while I go pack up my stuff at the house. If he's cheated in the past, then you're not overreacting. And the comment below that says, oh, you know, girl, not reacting enough. The next one says, am I overreacting for being upset that my mum invited somebody to my wedding without asking? For context, my partner and I are currently planning our wedding. We made it clear that we want it to be a smaller, intimate event and that we'll be limiting our head count. My mother had already pushed before about inviting more people and we said no. Yesterday, she asked me if she can invite one of her cousins who I haven't even seen or spoken to in over 15 years, but then texted me again that she'd already invited them. It's now turned into a sort of argument, and the last slide is what my stepfather sent me after the last text I sent to my mother. Am I being unreasonable? Can we please invite your so-and-so to the wedding? I really would like her to be a part of our family celebration. She just lost her father and has no family of her own. We're pretty much the only family that she has. I already told her that she's invited. Here's her contact info. You didn't even give me a chance to respond. Please don't invite people without consulting me first. I already gave our caterer a set head count and I paid. If I start adding more people, then I have to rehash the pricing. I'll pay for her. I'm sorry for pushing it, but I really want her to get an invite. I understand that, but also I don't appreciate you taking the liberty of inviting anybody without talking to me first. Not even everybody in the family got an invite because of headcount restraints to begin with. I already mentioned it to you before and it was disregarded. There's no one else I'm inviting. I don't even know if she'll make it. Mentioned what? The guest list? It's mine and my partner's wedding, and who we invite is up to us. Again, I understand, but I'm not happy that I'm being pressured and guilted into this. That's not fair at all, considering that I wasn't even given more than 5 minutes to respond. Your so-and-so said that somebody will not be there if they go. I already told so-and-so about the wedding and how I wanted her to go long before the date was set. It's my fault for not saying anything, but I'm not asking for much here. Yeah, I slept on it to level out, and my answer is still no. I'm sorry. As I've already said, I'm not happy with feeling like I'm being pushed or guilted into this. It actually makes me very uncomfortable. I hope you understand, because I'm not discussing it any further. So-and-so can go with his mother that day so that they could go. The number of guests would still be the same. I don't see how that'd be a problem. The problem is that I'm setting a boundary with you by saying no, but you continue to push it. My answer remains the same. Please respect it. This isn't even about the number of guests now. It's about teaching me a lesson and putting me in check. You don't know how much this hurts me. I'd already set my guest list beforehand. As I said before, you did not give me the opportunity to give you an answer first. You kept on pushing it, and I expressed to you that it was making me uncomfortable, and as if I was being guilted and forced into doing it. So yeah, now it's more than the guest list. It's about you pushing me into a corner and feeling like I have no choice or say in how I'm planning my own wedding. I feel that I'm not asking for much that you respect my decision. I'm not telling you any of this to hurt you. I'm being firm about my decision about my wedding. This is already being prolonged too much. I'm done talking about it. And the last one is from OP's stepfather. Wow, your mum's hurt. What kind of showing love and gratitude is saying that you're setting your boundaries with your mum for your wedding? Wow. Oh, how dare they set boundaries for their own wedding? What are you talking about? Yeah, the top comment. Wow, you're setting boundaries with your mum for your wedding? Laughing my ass off. Yeah. And the comment below that, it almost reads like it has to be sarcasm, but I don't think it is. OP has a comment that says, edit, I don't know how to add to my original post, but my partner and I are paying for the wedding ourselves. Parents have not put a dime into it, but have told me before that they could help where they can. This is not an isolated incident at all. She has been overbearing in many other scenarios, so that's why I reacted the way that I did. This is more about me being tired of getting bulldozed and pushed around for my entire life. This is the first time that I've ever set any kind of boundary with either of them. OP also has this post. Hello to anybody who comes to my page and checks it out. I did not expect for my Am I Overreacting to gain the traction that it did, and I wanted to say that I'm genuinely thankful for all the different perspectives that I got on the issue at hand. That being said, I wanted to explain myself a bit. Reading everybody's feedback, I see now how I was an a-hole in the situation, but I do recognize that my mother was wrong as well. This issue in itself is definitely petty, but I think that's how every bigger issue between the two of us has started. We have very different communication styles that don't mesh well at all. In scenarios with other people, I'm very rational and level-headed, but with her specifically, all that goes out the window. She's always been the type that flies off the handle about small incidents and blows them out of proportion, which then sets me off into nuclear mode. I'm responsible for how I react, and I know that's something I need to continue to work on. All I know is that right now, for the sake of my own sanity and well-being, I have to heavily limit my contact with her because we don't do well together. We're like oil and water. The wall that we always hit is that she doesn't understand why I'm so distant. But when I explain myself, it becomes another issue that causes some sort of fallout that extended family gets involved in. I think what hurts the most is that nobody ever takes my perspective into account. They get her side of things and they roll with it. So I have spent a good lot of time feeling unseen and not listened to. From my experience with her and my family, I'm always wrong, and she's always right regardless of the situation. She refuses to see anything that she has said or done as damaging and simply chalks it up to a bad day and then moves on like it's nothing. Oh yeah, we've read about stuff like that before. Like never actually apologizing, never really taking any responsibility for their actions. As I have heard some people state before, it's a case of that was a life-changing moment for me, and for you, it was just a Tuesday. I could have chosen a better situation to start with the whole boundaries thing for sure, but also if not now, then when? If it wasn't this situation, it would have been the next case of overstepping that I'd have to deal with. I'll need to be better at picking my battles, and this probably wasn't the hill to die on, but we're here already and what's done has been done. We'll see if the wedding still happens. My partner and I did get married at our local courthouse a few months ago and did not invite anybody because we wanted true intimacy. The only purpose of this ceremony and celebration was to satisfy the family and celebrate with them. But now it's been stress since we first announced it. We're going to keep mulling it over for the next couple of weeks and see what happens. If we decide not to move forward, then at least we'll get some money back that can go towards our honeymoon. If I've learnt anything from this, it's about really being strategic about picking my battles. Also, weddings are stressful and elopement is fantastic. The top comment says, you're being way too hard on yourself if you think that you're in any way the a-hole here. You're not, and your mum is clearly the problem. Good for you for having a courthouse wedding. And if you're only having a wedding reception to make family happy, does that ever even work? Then your idea of cancelling it and spending the saved money on your honeymoon sounds like a much better idea to me. It sounds like you need to go no contact or very low contact at most with your mum, but maybe also your entire family, since they always take her side. Save yourself the stress. Just because people are family doesn't give them an automatic right to you or your time or to treat you like garbage. You're married and you have a new family now anyway. Enjoy married life. The next one that we're going to read says, am I the a-hole? My boyfriend goes on walks for 5 to 7 hours and doesn't communicate where he is. Me, 36 female, and my boyfriend, 37 male, have been together for 5 years. He has extreme anxiety and panic attacks and will take long walks to calm down, which I'm supportive of. On numerous occasions, these walks have turned into other adventures and he doesn't update me. I've woken up at 3 a.m., 5 a.m., or even 8 a.m. the next morning to find him still not home. After worried and frantic calls, he'll reluctantly answer and make me out to be unreasonable and controlling. The places that I have located him at after hours of no contact are numerous bars that are closed, at a hotel across town with random people, friends' houses that I don't know, breakfast and drinks with strangers, a 55-year-old woman's house having a heart-to-heart, parties with strangers that he met on his walk. Am I the a-hole for being worried and angry when he doesn't communicate where he's going? Or if his walks turn into hangouts with friends? I think it's extremely disrespectful. And he says that I'm being controlling. Update. Thank you for your replies, everybody. I've been suspecting for a while that he either needs psychiatric care or has an alcohol addiction or both. He hasn't been listening to me, and I needed the help of a bunch of strangers on the internet to feel confident in addressing his need for his mental health care. I wanted to have this written thread as a backup to show him that I'm not being unreasonable and that this is a big issue. The top comment says, not the a-hole. These supposed walks ending in unlikely to actually be random places and not about his preventing panic attacks. There's a lot more deception going on than you think. And his defensiveness and his comments about your reasonable and normal question and worry being too controlling are another tip-off. Affairs maybe? Addiction? Does it matter? Bottom line, he's not being honest and he's gaslighting you. He's not acting like a healthy partner at all, and he doesn't seem like he even cares to be one. Your instincts are sounding alarms. You know what you already know, that this is not in your head. Yeah, and the comment below that too, not the a-hole. You're not being controlling. Going for a walk and ending up in a bar repeatedly is not how you deal with panic attacks, nor is going home with strangers. This behavior is so odd. What else is going on? Surely this isn't the only anomaly in an otherwise great relationship. And the comment below that one says, reread what you just posted and then pretend you're an outsider. Your boyfriend is either number 1, cheating, number 2, it's addiction, or 3, has a second family. And he gets mad at you for worrying? No, ma'am. As somebody who struggles with mental illness, walking for 8 hours is not what's done for anxiety and panic attacks. He's lying to you and you're so in love that you believe him. I'd also get an STD check if I were you. Yeah, this one is so concerning. And also, we don't have any more information. We don't know what's going on. But yeah, you're not the a-hole at all, OP. Okay, the next one says, am I overreacting for considering divorcing my husband who doesn't want to be with me for the birth of our child? I'm 33 female, he's 40 male. We have 2 kids together and a third on the way. Just last night, we had friends over for dinner and we were talking about childbirth and what that was like with our first 2. And he said that he didn't even want to be there for the birth of this one because it's too traumatizing for him. And that he wants my mum, who lives in a different country and has Parkinson's, to come and be there with me in the delivery room instead. He said that he doesn't want to be in the room and deal with my shouting and screaming and saying, over and over, because it's too stressful for him. Like, I'm sorry that I was in pain while giving unmedicated birth to our beautiful, healthy children. He's never mentioned to me that he doesn't want to be there for the birth. This is the first time it's come up, and it was in front of other people, which was kind of embarrassing. To be honest, if this were the only issue in our marriage, I'd chalk it up to him just having a few too many beers and maybe being a bit too blunt about it. But there have been so many other instances that prove to me that he doesn't prioritize me, and I'm so sick of it. Am I overreacting? Would I be an absolute idiot to divorce him while I'm pregnant with our 3rd child? Edit, thank you to everybody for your responses. This blew up way more than I expected it to, so I haven't been able to respond as much as I would have liked. I really appreciate the people who gave nuanced responses and could see both sides of the equation. To those who called me a monster and a terrible mother and said that I shouldn't be allowed to procreate, you guys. The world is a worse place with people like you in it. What I learned from everybody's responses from all sides of the spectrum, there were plenty who agreed with me and plenty who agreed with my husband, is that yeah, I would be overreacting if I got up and divorced him over this one thing, but considering all the other issues in our marriage, it might just be the last straw. I'm grateful to the people who pointed out what's really important here is that I prioritize my kids and give them the most stable upbringing possible. My husband's a crappy partner in a lot of ways, but he's a good father and a good provider, and my kids do deserve to have their father in their life. While I intellectually already know these things, sometimes I do need some clarity when I'm too upset to think clearly, which is why I came to the subreddit. I saw a lot of people that were upset by me mentioning that I gave birth unmedicated. This was a personal choice, and one that I was happy with and would 100% do again. The only reason I brought it up was not to brag about it, but to explain why I was in pain during childbirth. I feel like that shouldn't have been that hard to understand. Maybe I shouldn't have described my sounds as screaming and yelling, because that makes it sound like I was screaming or cursing at him, which I absolutely wasn't. It was more of like a loud moaning that started at the beginning of a contraction and got louder and louder until the peak and then stopped. I didn't curse at him or verbally abuse him at all, like many people assumed. Maybe just during the contractions where I was pushing did it kind of turn into a scream, but come on, I was pushing a baby through my vagina. I feel like that shouldn't mark me as some terrible person. Also, he never looked below my waist and never saw my bulging vulva as our babies were coming out. He was always next to my head and holding my hand. So I feel like the excuse I heard from a lot of people saying men shouldn't see their women like that down there because it'll screw them up sexually forever is irrelevant, because he never saw any of that anyway. Something a lot of you brought up that helped me see things in a new light is, why would you want him to be there if he doesn't want to be there? You don't want to be worried about him being stressed out by your sounds. You want to let loose and focus on yourself, which is totally true and something that I hadn't even thought of. If I'm worried about him being bothered, then it won't be a good experience for me either. So maybe it's better for him not to be there. I talked to him about it last night, and he said that he doesn't want to be in the room because he has to prioritize his mental health, and he hopes that I can respect that, which I do, so I won't make him be in the delivery room with me. But internally, I'm really disappointed in him. I moved to another country to be with him, a country where I don't fluently speak the language, where I have no family but him, and yet he won't even be there to support me or help me advocate for me in my most vulnerable moment. Sorry, I realize at this point I'm kind of rambling. I guess I want everyone to see a bigger picture and maybe see why I was as upset as I was. I'm not going to divorce him immediately over this, but it does affect how I see him as a partner. I'm not sure how many straws this camel's back can take. I'll talk to my therapist about it tomorrow. Thank you again to everybody who had an empathetic, level-headed response, even or maybe especially those who said that I'm overreacting. It is good to get input and opinions from multiple points of view. It looks like the comments are locked now, but I hope everybody who commented will see the update. Take care. This comment says, not overreacting and not by a long shot. Your husband sounds like an immature child who only cares about his feelings. And the comment below that says, not overreacting, you're probably a single mum already. The comment above that one says, labor is stressful for him. And the top comment says, wow, how nice that he has the option to not be a part of the birth. Must be great to be a man. And the comment below that says, why are you having more children with this man? Yeah, this is terrible. You're not overreacting at all. You're probably underreacting. You're not gonna forget this, OP. Instead of supporting his partner while they're having their child, all he's doing is thinking about himself. And also, I haven't seen any comments saying that OP overreacted. A lot of the comments I'm seeing are saying that OP should leave him. Yeah, like this comment says, not overreacting. It makes me sad that this is life for some people. My husband slept in a chair by my side for 3 days and held my hand through everything. And the comment below that says, not overreacting, leave his ass. Yeah, I genuinely haven't seen a single comment saying that OP is overreacting. Every comment says not overreacting, or like not reacting enough, underreacting. This comment says, he said that he doesn't want to be in the room and deal with my shouting and screaming and saying, oh, f*** over and over because it's too stressful for him. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, ever heard of supporting your partner? This is ridiculous. Yeah, that's enough for today. We need to read something wholesome. What a adventure of an episode. Cows sitting like dogs is officially the most important thing I've seen today. Did I read this the other day? It doesn't matter. That's so cute. Look at the beautiful babies. When you're having a bad day, but the cat believes in you. Oh, that's so cute. The beautiful fluffy little handsies. You can do anything human. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a great time today. The comment of the day today goes to Ariana Blaze. Let it be known that every time you bring a kitty to the screen, I enthusiastically out loud say, hi! Oh, that's so funny. Hi, kitty cat. Hello. That's so funny, and I really appreciate that. And I know Jin and Nez do as well. They say hi back. But thank you for that comment, and thank you for the support, everybody. I think I might go take a nap. I'll see you in the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself, and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!